So is it worth it to spend roughly $2,500 on a motorcycle that you really only paid, let's say, $4,000 for, just to keep it alive forever? That's right. I have been thinking about it since I bought this used 2000 Road King Classic, and I'll tell you what, it was an expensive thing to do when maybe I really didn't even need to have to do it. So if you follow the channel, you'll know that Duke, my 2000 Road King Classic, has been in the shop, and I definitely had some motor work done on the King, but not for the reason that you think. I think I have talked about it before, that I believe in, first of all, I'm not a mechanic, so if you have feedback, I would appreciate it in the form of learning. Then, dude, you're not a mechanic, you don't know what you're talking about, so be cool, dude, be cool, people. This is a 2000 Road King Classic, and after I bought it, because I had been searching for this thing forever, and I'll leave a video in the description on the why and what I did with this bike, so I won't bore you with that here. But I quickly learned that these twin cams, I believe it's between 99 and 2005 or 2006, had an inherent problem with cam chain tensioners, and when I bought it, I was the third owner, and I had no idea if any of that was done or not. So I decided to take it over to local mechanic. I said, let's get all the fluids out of it, cleaned up, and I want you to check the cam tensioners. So he did that and came back and said, you are good. They're 75% the front and the back, so I don't think you have to worry about it right now. That said, 4,000 or 5,000 miles, we're normally seeing these happen between 25 and 30,000 miles. Now, I have 26,000 miles on the bike as an FYI right now. So my understanding is if these cam tensioners that will break away do that, they will get into the motor, into the oil, and as somebody once told me, you then have a beautiful, beautiful black boat anchor. So that has always been on my mind, but it's also expensive to get done. So I have held off, and I finally said, I love this bike too much, and the reason I want to get this done is to make sure that I can keep this bike for 10-15 years and make it, to a certain extent, from a motor perspective, a little bit new again. So let me tell you what happened. The idea was that we were going to take it apart and change the tensioners and just see what we found when we opened up the motor. And we found the tensioners were definitely still, they were okay, but they were definitely starting to deteriorate. I would say they're 50%. Here's a picture of the cam plate right here, a little video of the cam plate, and those tensioners right there are ultimately what the problem is. So as he opened up the bike and saw that, I was not having him check this time. I was having him replace them. Just, put a new cam plate in there. And when you do this, you also should then change out the oil pump, which we did as well. So when he got the bike opened up, saw the tensioners, pulled the plate off, took the top end off. Obviously, you have to put in a bunch of new gaskets. So while he was in there, he noticed that the cams were a little bit worn, and some of you would say this is the best time Bodine 52. I mean, this bike does have a stage 1 on it, you got a tuner on it, just go ahead and put some new cams in there and build that thing up, man. But I just did not want to do that to this bike. It was definitely just a precaution type deal. So there was a little wear on the cams, so he went ahead and just pulled those out and put some stock ones back in, and we are good to go, and excited now about the longevity of Duke. New cams out, new bearings out, tensioners are gone, new cam plate, new oil pump, and while he was there, obviously I had him change the fluids. So the cams did ultimately get changed, but just back to stock. And the whole deal, and I'll leave in the description all of the pricing, because I did get the fluids changed and I did get some small bars put on because I had the older bars that were causing a little bit of a problem for me. I'll link that video as well if you want to see that. So I really need to go through the pricing, but I would tell you it was roughly $2,400, about $1,200 in parts, and then the rest of that was labor. I have a pretty good relationship with my dealer, and my dealer totally recommended that we go to this guy, and they thought the pricing was pretty good. So whether it is or not, I did it, and to a certain extent, no more boat anchor. Can I tell a difference in how it runs? Yeah, I can. That may just be because all the fluids were pulled out of it, and I'm more comfortable with the bars now, because I'm not so sure that changed much. But I do now know that Duke can truly be buried with me, because he's not going to be a boat anchor. So let me ask you this: would you do that? Would you spend $2,500 on a $4,000 motorcycle to save it forever? Or would you roll the dice? Because it could have went longer. Maybe it's $40,000, maybe it's $50,000. I don't know. It was a tough decision, but it wasn't, if that makes sense. This is probably one of those things I should have told my wife about. So when I dropped the bike off and she picked me up, I'm like, I just got to get a little maintenance done. And finally came clean on it. Said, hey, look, at the end of the day, this is the one bike, if I ever go down to one bike, that I am going to keep until they put me in the ground, and then I'll, either bury it with me or give it to family or a friend or something like that, right? And if you're interested in being on the Inherent My Bike list, just to please put me on the list in the comments section, and I'll make sure to get a running list of those who may want Duke should I go underground. And so super excited about finally getting it done. This is only my second ride on it. Obviously the best way to do it and test it out is take it through hell, and if it can hang doing that, then I must be in good shape. Those hell jokes are getting old, aren't they? Well, I just can't help myself. But let me know if you would have done this, or if you would have just let it ride, baby. Put a lot of miles on it anyway. But man, I just feel a ton better since I got this done. I may be eating bread and drinking water for the next couple months, but I will tell you, super glad I did it, and love to hear your feedback and what you have done for your bike. That it wasn't necessarily just performance, but you were doing it to make sure that you were keeping the bike in the condition that you wanted in for longevity. Love to hear that feedback. A lot of new subscribers. I just want to say I appreciate you guys coming along and listening to me, and don't take it for granted. I appreciate all of you. Y'all be safe out there, checking a friend, and we will see you on the next one. Peace!
Oh, it's time for me to check on all my friends, like the Wolverines and Lions for the win. This is Bodie by my side, we'll take Harley for a ride.